What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video I'm going to give you 3 key commands in Studio One that's going to improve your workflow in the timeline. So what I mean by improving your workflow in the timeline, these are 3 keyboard shortcuts that's going to allow you to move around your timeline without having to click at the top of the timeline to move around. And these are 3 key commands that I use in Studio One all the time. So the first one is going to be called locate selection. And so if we go to keyboard shortcuts and type locate, we can see locate selection is L. So what this keyboard shortcut does is any selection that you select and then you hit L, your cursor is going to jump to the beginning of that selection. So this is going to help you move around in the timeline quicker. The second one is going to be locate mouse cursor. So again, if we go to keyboard shortcuts, locate mouse cursor is command space. I'm on a Mac. Now, if you're on a Mac, by default, command space is going to open up Spotlight, so you will need to disable Spotlight in order to use this key command, which I feel is worth it to disable Spotlight for doing this. But on a Mac, if you want to disable Spotlight, are you going to go into your system settings? Are you going to go to keyboard and then go to keyboard shortcuts and then Spotlight, and you can see I have mine unchecked. Now that when I hit command space, it will not open up Spotlight. So back in Studio One, this means anywhere that you move your mouse cursor and then command space, the cursor will follow. So this is the one I use the most for getting around the timeline. So let's say I wanted to get, let's see, right in the middle of this verse, command space, and there's the cursor. I can get around the timeline really quickly with this command space shortcut. All right, now the last one is one that I wouldn't think would work the way that it does. I don't know why it works the way that it does, but I'm glad that it does because, again, it allows me to get through the timeline quicker, and that's auto scroll. So your auto scroll is mapped to just the F key. Here it is, auto scroll, F. So what auto scroll does is allows, let's see if we bring this up. I'm going to put the cursor here. So what auto scroll does is it's going to, as the cursor moves off the page, it's going to scroll over. So this is with auto scroll on. Let's back it up just a little bit. So you can see it shifts over to the next part or next page. That's with auto scroll. Now, with auto scroll off, just to show you how this behavior acts, this is with auto scroll off.
Work, dedication, and patience. My campaign strong, just face it. Is it being great? Who you supposed to?
So you can see the cursor continues to play, but it stays on the same page. It doesn't move over. But how you can get through the timeline with auto scroll is that if your cursor is off the screen, so you can see now, where's the cursor is, we'll put the cursor at bar 17, but I'm looking at this section or this part of the session and the cursor is not in sight, but I hit play.
Grass cut and my edges trim. Even when the lights are dim, you're on radar.
So you can see the cursor's not on screen. But now watch what happens when I hit F for auto scroll.
Grass cut and my edges trim. Even when the lights are dim, you're on radar. I ain't giving out no favors.
So you can see when I hit F for auto scroll, it jumps to where the cursor is playing currently. This is really helpful for me because, let's say the session may be playing the first verse, but I'm editing on the back half of the session and I'm doing stuff while it's still playing. If I want to jump back to where that cursor is playing, I just hit F for auto scroll and it's going to jump me back to where the cursor is currently playing. So kind of a weird behavior to me for how that works, knowing what auto scroll does, but it allows me to get through the timeline quickly if I need to jump back to where the cursor is playing. All right, so there's 3 key commands that will help you get through the timeline quickly and more efficiently in Studio One. And I am using Studio One 6, but this should work for any version of Studio One. All right, definitely comment and let me know if you have any tips for moving around the timeline in Studio One. We'd love to hear how y'all are doing it. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.